Hello, dear students. This is Mr. Chung. And in this video, we're going to talk about how to find the area of a parallelogram. So a parallelogram is a shape that has two pairs of parallel lines. So notice how each side, so top and bottom are parallel, and left and right are also parallel. In this example, we're going to start with 43.4 yards. Then this side is going to be 33.7 yards. And we're going to have this length over here is going to be 23 yards. So the formula to find the area of a parallelogram is just base times height. The hardest part of this is figuring out which side is the base and which side is the height. The base can be, the base is going to be, either side can actually be the base. But in our example, our base is going to be 43.4. And the reason why, so I'm going to first say base can be either side, but the height is perpendicular to the base. So perpendicular means 90 degrees. So when we look at these two remaining sides, do you think that our height is going to be 23 yards, or is it going to be 33.7 yards? Pause the video and answer. If you said that it's going to be 23 yards, you would be correct. The reason why it's 23 yards and not 33.7 is because when we go from the top corner and we go down, it is perpendicular to our base. Now, if instead we flipped this on its side and we had something like this, and we said that this was 33.7, and then the side was 43.4, and then what else was there? It was like oh yeah, so it was like this, this, and then we have 23 over there. Well, we could actually use this bottom part, the 33.7, as our base, but then we would need the height, and the height would not be 43.4. What would the height be? Where would it be? So think about where that line should be drawn. Pause the video. Okay, if you said that we should draw a dotted line down there, and we find this height, then that would be correct. Okay, so the problem is going to give you certain numbers. You have to look at which number is parallel to the base, and that's going to be the height. So let me undo this stuff, because let's go back to the original problem and just solve for our area. So that's all we were trying to do here, finding the area. The area for this one was, sorry, the height was 23. And so then the area is just going to be 23 times 43.4. Let me do that. 23 times 43.4 is going to be do it yourself, calculator. It's gonna be 998.2 square yards. That's it. Let me give you another example for you to do. For this one, you're gonna need to do a little extra, and I'm using this example because it's kind of similar to what is on your exam. So we'll say this is A, B, C, and D. And this side is gonna be 13, and this side is square root of 29. So you're gonna need to look at this, and let's say they give you that this side is 5. So pause the video and tell me what do you need to find? What is the missing length? Is it the base or is it the height? Okay, if you said that we need to find the height, then you'd be correct. So notice how this side is 13. So in a parallelogram, top and bottom and both sides are going to be the same length. So we could say that this is 13 as well. And that's going to be our base. But we are missing this height over here. We need to find that height. Now remember, what is the height always going to be to the base? Go ahead and answer that. If you said perpendicular or 90 degrees, you'd be correct. And if we have a 90-degree triangle, as I'm showing you over here, we have a 90-degree triangle. We can use the Pythagorean theorem, which is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And that way we can find our height. So I want you to try to solve for h using the Pythagorean theorem. Pause the video and do it yourself. Okay, if you said that the square root of 29 is our longest side, and that's going to be c, you'd be correct. So the other two sides are going to be h and 5. So a could be h, b could be 5, and c could be square root of 29. So I'm just going to plug it in and go ahead and solve this yourself. So if you did h squared plus 5 squared equals square root of 29 squared, you would get h squared plus 25 equals 29. And then how do we get the h squared by itself? Subtract 25. What you do to one side of the equation, you must do to the other. We can bring down the h squared. That equals 29 minus 25 is 4. And what is the final step? Go ahead and think about it yourself. If you said finding the square root of h squared and the square root of 4, you'd be right. H is going to be 2. So h is going to be 2. Now we can find the area. Area is just base times height. Go ahead and solve that on your own. Pause the video. If you did, area is 2 times, actually, let me reverse that. Area is equal to 13 times 2, and that's going to be 26. You would be correct. All right, good. Over and out.